So good morning everybody, and welcome to beautiful Sebastian, Florida, and welcome back to Living the Florida East Coast. In this video, what I wanted to do is give a full inclusive A to Z guide about what Sebastian, Florida is like in 2023. So we're gonna go over everything from location, neighborhoods, the culture, things to do, where to live, what would fit your lifestyle the best, and we're just gonna try to cover everything here in this video that we can. We're gonna dive into that right now. Alrighty guys, so first things first, I wanted to have a highlight reel about Sebastian, Florida here in the first part of this video. So first thing, scenic beaches, and also not overcrowded, not too many people, so plenty of space in between everyone. So we've got people hunting for shells, people with metal detectors, which brings me up to my next highlight, the fact that we're on the Treasure Coast here. Back in 1715, pretty much right where I'm looking out right now, there was a fleet of Spanish ships that wrecked all up and down the Sebastian, Vero Beach, Fort Pierce Beach after a hurricane, and lots of gold, silver coins, gold bars, that sort of thing, all washed up on the shore here. And people still are finding coins to this day, especially after big storms roll through. Also, Sebastian is a very convenient location to get to, metropolitan areas here in Florida. So you can easily jump over to Orlando, hour and a half, a little bit less than that since we're further north. Miami, jump over across to Tampa. So very convenient location within Florida. Also very low crime stats here in Sebastian, Florida. So you've got an A+ crime statistics here according to areavibes.com. Also close-knit community with still plenty to offer. So you've got that old fishing village type of feel. So you've got the fishing village that Sebastian started as, but then now it kind of carries over to what it is today. Yes, the population has grown, but it still has that feel. I mean, if you look behind me here, it's a Tuesday morning in the peak season. There are people down there, so that's the Golden Sands Beach. And most of the population is down there, but just the spread that you get on this beach, so you can publicly walk up and down, I mean, you can't beat it. It's absolutely gorgeous. So first, let's have the conversation about the beaches here at Sebastian. So first one, of course, I wanted to talk about is the Sebastian Inlet State Park. So you may have seen where they have kind of like this roped off pooled area here in front of the Sebastian Inlet where boats are going in and out. There's a little pool where people can go swimming, snorkeling, that sort of thing. It is a great little area, also with miles and miles of bike trails up and down the beach, private access places. It really is a wonderful place to go, and that's one of them. So lots of great surf breaks too for you guys to surf, for you surfers out there. Next one I wanted to talk about is going to be the Wabasso Beach Park. So that's the one where you go straight over the Wabasso Bridge, leads you over there. The reason I love the Wabasso Beach Park is because that sandbar and the drop off is so far forward that whenever you get to Wabasso, it is absolutely beautiful with the nice shallow water. And you can kind of feel like you have that Bahamas feel when you get there. So you see the sand, you see the sandbar. There's not a big drop off to where it turns into that deep blue water right away. It kind of has that nice light blue, beautiful feel whenever you first get there. Not a lot of parking, so limited parking in Wabasso Beach, Florida, and it does, or the Wabasso Beach State Park, and it does fill up quite quickly. But of course you've got where I am now, which is gonna be the third one that I talk about, is the Golden Sands. So Golden Sands, complete opposite of Wabasso Beach. This is where, the drop off does get further out. You can see the boats out there. I'm not too sure if you can see them or not, but there are some boats out there beyond where the waves are breaking, and they're fishing the reef right now. So that's another good little spot. If you do have a boat, come off the Sebastian Inlet, surf the reef, and that's where you can find a lot of things. So Golden Sands, plenty of parking. You've got access to restrooms there, plenty of room just for people to roam around and space in between each other. It is a little bit further out, but not too much. It's just maybe 1.5 miles, 2 miles off of whenever you get off that Wabasso Bridge. So convenient spot for you Sebastianites, I'll call you. All right, so that's a little bit cooler, definitely getting a little bit toasty on the beach. So now we're talking about the Sebastian culture. So the culture when you're in Vero Beach and you go over to the beach side, it has a more exclusive feel, a more Hamptons of Florida type of feel. Now when you get to Sebastian, definitely more laid back, definitely more old Florida. They like to kind of keep it dialed back, shorts, flip-flops, t-shirt, tank top, whatever it may be. That is all what they promote here in Sebastian, Florida for most of the time. Not a lot of fine dining restaurants. You won't find that like you will in Vero Beach. You're not going to find the exclusive $100 plates here. This is more small, Old Town Florida, celebrated here in Sebastian, and you can still, for that reason, get a relatively lower priced home on the beach, but still be close driving distance within 10-15 minutes to all the shops, restaurants, everything that Vero Beach has to have, if that's more your style. Also, it has a rich history, so Sebastian has a rich history celebrated through its museums. So lots of things like the historical landmarks that we have, the 1715 fleet that I was pointing out a little bit earlier, the annual events that we have, like the Seafood Festival. I'm sure that we do things for the the treasure that was sunk in here. Lots of museums for that, like the McClarty Museum, and also the Mel Fisher Museum there, Mel Fisher was the one responsible for finding the Etosha and has claim to a lot of the 1715 fleets there too. The city here also, if you want to call it a city, I just call it a town, is also home to several music festivals, seafood festivals, those sort of things, like the Clam Bake Festival is one of the bigger ones that we host here. We'll be going over that direction over the bridge in a second to show you where on the river they host the Clam Bake Festival, they host the seafood festivals, a lot of the country concerts that happen. We like to do that over here on this side of the coast. Everything that we have that goes on, that happens here, we like to do it on the river with that water view that everyone moves here for. So that is a big part of the culture here, is being by the water, seeing the water, incorporating that into the music, incorporating that into the the festivals that we host, the seafood, everything that we do is all part of that. Also, we also have the love of the outdoor recreation. So like I said, the public beaches that we have here, the jungle trail that you have that you can drive up and down, walk up and down, bike up and down. That is a beautiful little spot here on the barrier island that you can go to. Lots of other smaller parks that is celebrated throughout Sebastian too. So you'll see when you get to the Sebastian Highlands that when we go over that bridge, get further out to the west of town, even within the Highlands, they celebrate the just the amount of parks, recreation that you have to choose from. This town likes to preserve as much of that as possible. So you'll see things like playgrounds, you'll see outdoor recreational activities, football fields, soccer fields, baseball fields. Those sort of things are all spread out within walking distance a lot of times to the Sebastian Highlands residencies. And then also when you come over the bridge, you have the beautiful beaches and everything that they have on the barrier island. All right guys, so in this next section, I wanted to talk to you about the housing in Sebastian, Florida. So definitely more of a laid-back feel than what we've seen in Vero Beach. So we've got surfboards for mailboxes here. We've got blue driveways and light yellow colored shutters on the blue houses. More smaller, modest type of feel with the homes. Definitely older builds here, but still walking distance right over A1A to the beach. So this is really what I was saying in the last section, just trying to explain the best that I could, but actually being here, seeing it, very quiet, very quaint, friendly neighbors. I've been waved at 3 times since being here. So if I were in, let's just say, an exclusive part of Vero Beach, I probably would be questioned not being waved at. So being asked, what are you doing here? What's your business being in here? How did you get through the gate? That sort of thing is what I would be being asked in the exclusive parts of Vero Beach. So not more Key West type of lifestyle here, type of attitude towards life, not a West Palm Beach and gated neighborhood, high berms, privacy type of feels. So this is where you come if you want to be in a smaller, less congested area than the Keys to have that same sort of feel. This is where you really want to go and focus your shopping. I know we have a listing behind me on this street here that I'm walking for about $800,000. So $1 Million Island up here in Sebastian does not apply for single family homes here. Now, yes, they are dated. Yes, they need repair. So just so you know, there are some options. Yes, it is still expensive, but you're on the beach. It comes with the territory. But I definitely wanted to show you the difference between, houses there and houses here. So no HOA, obviously. So behind me here, you've got, older style, old Florida home, definitely needs some repairs. But then behind me, I turn it around, you still got this beautiful house here, nice lush landscaping, new paint on the, on the house, metal roof, definitely takes care of their property, decorated nicely. One more thing I wanted to point out before I left, I was just walking up and down the street, that we have a take a book, leave a book here on a residential street. So just to kind of show you the difference, really show you the difference between the, gated, only belong to this club type of area you get in Vero Beach, Here you have a take a book, read a book with a park bench to read it here right in front of a house. I mean, too cool. All right, so now I wanted to talk about another popular choice when looking to relocate to Sebastian, Florida, and that is going to be living on the river. So we're not on the river right now. This is you know, what they call a canal that comes through. So we're in the neighborhood called the River Boat Club. And River Boat Club, what's really cool about this little area is it's kind of gives you a good feel as to what life is like when living on the canal, having that waterfront access. That is probably one of the most popular requests that I get from clients that call me looking to move to Sebastian, is the fact that they want to be on the canal or on the river with that river access. So with Sebastian being more of a fishing village, definitely has that feel to where, you know, it's not the exclusivity that we talked about, no 40 to 60 foot yachts sitting in front of these houses. You have more so of just the boats that kind of say, hey, I'm here to catch fish and drink some beer. Right, so that's the full attitude of Sebastian, Florida, and it definitely reflects over to neighborhoods such as this, where you have the canal access across the street. So you've got the homes behind me, then you've got canal access on the homes that are behind me, but the homes that are towards the front of the neighborhood, and then on the left side actually does not have canal access. So I believe a lot of these boats belong to them. Very different. I'm hoping I'm getting the best distinctions as possible between the two areas here, so you can figure out which town you vibe with the most. This is riverfront living, relatively affordable when compared to Vero Beach because you're not walkable to a lot of the other amenities that Vero Beach has. But then again, close driving distance to just about everything. Yeah, so we're in the Sebastian Highlands right now. This is really just kind of a mix of, you know, older properties between, you know, early 90s, maybe late 80s, but there's a lot of scattered lots because it's not HOA, not planned, no master plan communities here in Sebastian. You know, there are some gated neighborhoods and scattered things like that that is within the Sebastian Highlands. But if we're talking about the Sebastian Highlands as a neighborhood, scattered lots, 80s, 90s homes for the majority of them, but there are still quite a few new constructions, lots of post-2000 homes. So I'm looking around here. The further east you are in the Highlands, the older the homes are. So that's traditionally the way it works for any coastal town, is that the construction will start on the east side and then work its way west. So east side of the Highlands, I'm walking around Easy Street right now, pretty far east, pretty close to the water. You can feel it in the air, but yet you have these 80s and 90s homes. I don't see very many, if any at all, new construction builds around this lake that I'm walking around. So that's key number one. Key number two, new construction, scattered lots. So Adams Homes, Miranda Homes, a few other places, they are all currently building within the Sebastian Highlands. So that's something to definitely keep in mind if you want to have lower insurance bills. It's kind of a luxury, but you know, kind of not. You know, you only pay taxes on the land itself for the first year that you own it. So that's pretty cool because the property taxes are paid in arrears. Most of the things that you need to know about the Sebastian Highlands is that this is where the median price point of about $370 goes up to the mid fours. That's going to be the traditional prices of these homes through here, new construction or not. So if new construction is something that you want, you can take advantage of it for the same price. I've even seen some instances of new houses, smaller of course, being put on the market for under $300,000 at the time of this recording. So these are all still possible. I don't think we're in a hyper inflationary period right now as far as real estate is concerned, so I don't expect those prices to change too much. But Indian River County right now is an anomaly when you compare it to the rest of the United States, because we are having, you know, still an increase year over year of prices. So pretty well insulated. But Sebastian Highlands, again, back to it, great little area, no HOA. There are some scattered places like Ashbury, Sebastian River Highlands, those sorts of places scattered within the, within the Sebastian Highlands. But this is really where you come to, get your space back. If you're maybe have been living on a condo for a while, or you've been within an HOA that's too restricted, this is really where you want to put your focus, and then be reasonably priced as well. Okay, now I wanted to briefly discuss the schools in the area. So this is kind of the topic that not a lot of people really talk about, because it's not a highlight of Indian River County. We're not in the top 10, but we are number 12, so we're very close to being in that top 10. So there's 64 school zones, I believe, or over 64 counties, and then we're ranked number 12 out of 64 of that. So not too bad. You don't have a lot to choose from within Sebastian, Florida. So you really have, and I wrote these down here because I don't have a kid yet who is old enough for school. So you have 3 to 4 elementary schools within Sebastian. You've got 2 middle schools, which is a charter and the Sebastian Middle School, but then you only have 1 option for high school. So that 1 option is going to be the Sharks, and that's going to be the Sebastian River High School. So, all right, so I had to find a quiet spot in this restaurant to go ahead and film this because it is pretty big. What better place to go to talk about the things to do in Sebastian, Florida, than to come over here to Captain Hiram's. So Captain Hiram's, this is where, you know, you got your feet in the sand, you can come flip-flops, you know, shorts, t-shirt, grab a beer, get a Corona, pop a lime in, and go ahead and have a good time. So this is where I thought would be the best place to start this little section off with what to do in Sebastian, Florida. And really it doesn't end here. This entire area of Indian River Drive just has a ton of things to do. So you've got the Crab Stop of Sebastian, Krabby Bill's, the Jamaican restaurant that we have up there, Earl's Hideaway for you bikers who want to go up and down, you know, Indian River Drive and Indian River Boulevard on your motorcycles. We have that for you here. You've also got Squid Lips up the road. Like I said, we're in Captain Hiram's. The Tiki Bar is down there. So this is really where everything kind of gathers within walking distance. Beautiful little scenes of the river, and you can see the river from just about every single restaurant here in Sebastian. So you can't really beat it. Also, you have pontoon rentals and boat rentals here within Captain Hiram's that you can take advantage of. Just tons and tons of other things to do also. Now, talking about going back to the mainland in Sebastian Highlands, plenty of parks like we were just a little bit before, a little while ago there. There's tons of parks up and down there with river views, and then also out west near the Sebastian Highlands area. Honestly, it's just paradise. I mean, how much more can I say about it? This place is paradise. If this is kind of falling into the criteria of what you're looking for when wanting to move to Florida, make sure to reach out to me. My name is Andrew Pensch. I am a local realtor here on the Florida East Coast. And if you have any questions or concerns or want to be represented by a realtor when making that move here to the Florida East Coast, make sure to give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email, because I promise that I will have your back when making that move here. Also, if you are interested, we opened up a website. It is fleastcoast.com. That's where you can go and search for your properties, find out different market snapshots, see what's going on with the local market that you're interested in. All up and down the East Coast, I cover from Melbourne all the way down to Stuart. So any of those areas there, make sure to reach out to me. All right, thanks guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.